not a project that we don't want to work on or start. It's something that we know needs to be done, and we're definitely going to get there. However, because of procedures, we didn't include it currently. That doesn't mean it can't be amended to be added once the process goes through. On the hotel motel tax, we currently have 126 rooms in the city of Floresville, and this year we collected over almost 240,000, almost 202,000 new tax dollars and $32,000 that came over from last year. The 2 new hotels that are currently going up and that are going to be opening in our year this year are 109 rooms together. That almost doubles what we have. We have taken into consideration the fact that the prices may go down a little bit because there'll be more competition. It may not be 100% occupancy like they are currently, but as you see, we didn't double the amount in our budget on hotel motel tax, although the amount of rooms are substantially going to almost double. We've taken into consideration that the market, is going to change. Some things are going to happen. It's going to be a bit more flooded. So those things have been taken into consideration. And that's where the number came out to. Again, we've collected we're going to end the year out just under 240,000, and we have 300,000 budgeted in next year's budget. So we didn't take a huge jump. We weren't adding a whole bunch of money into the budget, counting on all of those rooms being occupied at 100% at the current rate.
The hotel motel tax is a very specific tax. It cannot be put in the general fund. It has very specific purposes. It's not put into payroll or water and streets or anything like that. It's very specific.
And there were a lot of other things that were in this budget that were not in last year's budget. The water modelers one, that's something that we talked about. Can it be amended? We can add it in there. However, we've worked long, hard hours to prepare a budget. We had 5 budget workshops. 1 with public input and 4 in here. And the 3 of you and the mayor, the 4 of you collectively were in those budget workshops. All of those questions were answered at that time. I really wish you would reconsider voting down this budget. I believe in the numbers that are in it. We've done long, hard homework. Tom has been in there involved with it. We've had the auditors focus on it. And I believe in this budget. I believe the numbers that are in this budget are true, accurate, and correct. And it wasn't just numbers pulled out of the air. And I hope that you understand that we have really worked hard to make a budget that is good for the city, and that is including all of the projects and inclusions of the CBA. All of those things that are brought to us are all in this budget, and I really wish you would reconsider voting it down.
Okay, and my question is, where's the city attorney today? I mean, my thing was, I was going to ask you some questions. If legally, where do we fall if this didn't, I asked some questions. What and I'm asking y'all. We're asking you the question now. What's going to happen? Are these people really going to lose their jobs and all this, what people are saying? Or what is the worst that's going to happen if we say no to this budget? And what y'all know about?
The tax rate, the property tax, how much do we collect in property taxes? 800?
A little over 800,000.
800,000.
Yeah.
If we don't ratify the tax rate.
That's the second agenda item, is the tax rate. He's talking about the budget.
Jim, thank you very much.
The budget does include the tax rate though. And if we don't ratify that tax rate, it doesn't matter whether we use the budget that we presented to you or last year's budget. If we don't send out tax bills, we don't collect tax money. If we don't ratify a tax rate, we do not get that money in, and therefore that budget needs to be amended to show that those funds be pulled off.
We're talking $800,000. So if we're not going to ratify this, what does that do to any business or any entity?
And it doesn't matter what tax rate, either tax rate is ratified.
That's a big impact. I'm asking you to reconsider your motion.
The budget can always be amended, right?
Yes.
The budget can be amended, yes.
So what, if we vote no, then you're saying that we can't collect no taxes?
If you don't ratify a tax rate, that's correct. If you don't,
But that's the vote here.
And that's part of the budget.
it is part of the budget.
So we vote no, the whole train's gonna stop, what you're saying?
No, sir, the train won't stop. The city has to continue moving forward. It's going to be more difficult and we will have to take
How
additional
difficult? Well, I
steps.
want you to explain to the difficult, what is it that's gonna happen?
It becomes extremely difficult. We have to go through every line item of last year's budget to this year's budget and make individual line item adjustments in city council. Every single one will have to be approved.
So then I'll go back to last year's?
Yeah, looks to like it, last year's budget.
And last year's budget doesn't include any increases. It doesn't include the collective bargaining agreement. It does not include the water model. It doesn't include any.
But that budget can be
hotel
amended.
motel.
That budget can
Those
be
are just
amended by a
few-
new
few
council in
particulars.
41
Those
days.
are just a minor.
Hold on, but my issue, and I'll address Mr. Miller, is why do you have to amend it? If you know, you and I, Sherry Pollard, and the staff have worked hard on it. You've looked at it, you've had time to review it. There is no reason to not approve this budget. I understand the political climate. I understand the issues that are at hand. I understand the changes that are coming in November. Those are understandable, council members, and I speak to you honestly, to you, that this budget should not be the carrot that's held over, because this budget is our working budget for the staff, for the city, for the citizens. So please reconsider that. There is no need, there is no reason not to approve this budget. I would understand if there was some big, major reason, but there is not, sir. The reason is that this two steps are the only thing of importance to this staff, because we have worked long and hard, and there is no reason to spend any more time, effort, and money on working on this when it's a good budget, it's an honest budget, and it's a done deal. Amendments can be made, you are correct, later on, but there is not one single reason for you not to approve this budget.
And what trouble is, the collective bargaining in by us voting no on this, Mr. Mayor?
Collective bargaining, this year we were adding, what, $100,000 to the budget? For new salaries?
That's correct, and those were supposed to go into effect October 1st. If you don't approve this budget, then we have to amend it in October for those to go into effect, and so that.
But there is no kind of trouble by amending it and giving them money, that's what I'm asking.
Well, there is. If you have a guiding document that shows this is where that's supposed to be spent. That's how you go. If you don't give us, that's your responsibility. If you don't give us that guiding document, how are we supposed to continue forward? Just
Well,
by
we've shifted
on a
money,
whim?
we've shifted money all these years, back and forth, and you've got that authority, so I'm asking, you know, you can't do that, or shift?
Yes. Yes, but we go back to why there's nothing wrong with this budget presented, and it's been presented over and over again.
We've been working on this since June. And y'all are talking on the very last day, next to the last day, of saying no. Do you have a comment, sir?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it seems like you have no control of this, this collective bargaining on these guys right here. Nothing's gonna change.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, we know that. We went to the bargain, I mean, we went to the meeting and that's what happened. They didn't get approved by the first October. It's not gonna change. But it seems to me like y'all should have a meeting, instead of having it at home, and have a meeting back there and talk about this, than bringing it out here in the public and talking about this. That's very unprofessional. I mean, I don't know where you went to school and got your leadership at, Mr. Mayor, but you know what? You don't have no credit right here.
Thank you. Paul, you want to say something?
Yes, I do not see any downside in not approving this budget. In approving this budget, there's no downside.
In approving it?
Approving it,
Approving it.
yes.
I'll speak. One, this is an issue on the budget, not on the tax rate. The tax rate's the next agenda item. Okay? If this budget is denied, the city defaults to last year's budget. Will that affect the collective bargaining agreement? Yes. but money can be shifted from one fund to another fund to ensure that the collective bargaining agreement is paid. And more importantly, a new council in 41 days can look at this budget appropriately. And by your own admission, what we are pursuing is a loan from the USDA, a loan that requires payments to. This budget has no appropriations for those payments. So yes, could we amend the budget to include those appropriations? Yes. But then we're going to have to adjust what we're spending on something else. Let's do that on the front side of this, not on the back side of this. And I concur with the motion and the second as it has been made.
Any reconsiderations, Council?
Again, I ask the council again to please approve this budget.
Councilman Guerrero, you make the motion.
Yeah, I think after listening to Andy, and especially Sherry as far as item by item, I think I will reconsider not having to do that, and if we have to make amendments, we'll make the amendments at the time. But I think at this time, I think that's the best thing to do. We'll make the amendments when we need to with the, that to be rest.
So the motion is to approve the budget.
Yeah.
So you're rescinding?
Who's that?
A motion to approve the budget of 2012-2013. Is there a second to that?
A second.
To approve it. That's correct, right? Motion by Guerrero, second by Castillo to approve the 2012-2013 budget. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you very much. Consideration action to approve levy the property tax rate for the 2012, directing the tax assessor collector to assess, account, and distribute the property taxes as hereby levied. Is there a motion to that?
Again, Mayor, on this one here, I've just recently read that Polk and Fall City both have gone down on that tax rate. And also have heard that San Antonio has gone, the last 3 years, have reduced their tax rate. So I'm gonna make the motion to approve levying a property tax rate for the year 2012 using the effective tax rate, directing the tax assessor collector to assess, account for, and distribute the property taxes as herein levied, which is less than what we're paying now. Which is what, Sheriff Department, that's .3178.
It's .0049 less,
I say,
but has a great impact on our budget.
How much so?
Approximately $60,000. About $60,000.
60,000.
but you gotta look in consideration that we're building all these, new motels that are coming in. I think the increase of sales taxes, increased it to 15% more, which I think maybe the FEDC is getting like 50,000, and maybe the city 200,000. So we're looking at about $250,000 that they're making extra. And I think the people should deserve a little break. And we keep saying that the taxes don't go up. No, that their tax rate hasn't gone up in several years and we're the lowest. But at the same time, it's never gonna go back down, and people need a little break. I think the old people are here. I think we're making more than enough money. We have these new businesses, apartments coming down here by the veterans. We've got these new apartments coming by Sunnyside, hundreds of apartments. I think the city is in good shape. I mean, we're gonna say, well, Mr. Gomez supposedly said too a while back that we're gonna make $100,000 on the new trash company. We're gonna be making so much money. So I think at this time, we need to give a little break to the people and just pay the same that we paid last year for this year. Next year was another year. But that's why I made the second. And which I don't know.
To pay the same as last year?
Well, that number, we got it, not the number, but,
Mayor.
If I may, I just wanted to address the fact that Hope and Falls City, Livonia, some of these other areas that are lowering their tax rate, their property values went up considerably, the value side. Our property value in the city of Floresville went down this year. The average property value is lower, therefore people are paying less taxes even with the current tax rate. They've got a lot more of the, the oil field stuff that's out there, a lot of that. Their values went up, that's why they lowered their tax rate. Ours is the opposite. Ours went up some, but not nearly the increase that those other cities did. Just an explanation as to why they lowered it.
well, that one, I'm not gonna buy that any kind of way, because I think it is, the people deserve a little tax break there. 60,000 ain't gonna break. Makes it break, it'll break.
Money coming in for.
I second. Thanks for that information.
I think we need to reconsider that, and that's just a better
Move to-
reconsider.
Andy, don't we have to have public hearings on the new proposed rate?
Not if it's not above the effective tax rate.
Correct. If it's not gonna change, then, we don't have to have those.
However, we are gonna have them in the budget you just approved.
I'm in the budget,
Yes, ma'am.
by
We
360.
used the .3227 when we created the budget. So we'll have to amend it to show the effective tax rate.
So we're losing the 60,000 that you approximately say that we're gonna make. What's the only thing you're gonna have to balance out?
On the M&O side, on the maintenance and operations side, yes.
Yeah, that's not a problem, because we're gonna be making more money. That tax rate should even increase more this year. If it went to 15, I think it's going good for Floresville. So there's no reconsidering on my part of that.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, could you, for us in the audience, what is the proposed tax rate?
The tax rate that was used on the budget is 3227.
And what is the one that Mr. Morone?
I have Mr. Guerrero.
Mr. Guerrero.
0.3178. A difference of 16 cents, I
It's
believe,
actually .0049, it's less than half a cent.
less than half a cent. For the property taxpayer, what does it come out to? $100,000 home, it was
Be $5.
$5 a
A
year.
month?
$5 a year.
A year.
Still, give them $5.
Okay. All right, the motion by Guerrero, second by Morones, to approve a tax rate of 3.178? 3178, is that what? Yes.
.317.
Okay.
0.317.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion carries 2-1. There's no further business, meeting is adjourned at 10:27.